I don't care what color your assets are. I don't care where you stand on the earth. We all matter. And have lost sons and daughters and brothers and uncles and those that we loved. We learned to stand up with our diaphragm and exercise, yes, to the president's standards of health for the freedom that we have, that some want to give away. I don't care what color, race, creed. In America, we have a choice that the rest of the world doesn't have. And to think that one man that wasn't just wrong, he dies and you all go crazy and give riot to distraction, to allow governments to take you and twist you against the brothers and the sons and the daughters and the mothers of all the men that gave their lives for those stars and stripes. Civilians. We came from the world. We came from the world. And little segments got eaten away by corporatization of homogenization that is further from the land. And further from the land means further from the I am that I am. You think any of us got here without a womb? Did any of us? Show me one person, including Jesus Christ. Show me one. I dare you, try. And not say there's not something of alienation. They've been dividing us for years, and you're going to fall for that crap one more time? I mean, come on, girl. Your grandma would take you by the ear and take you back behind the kitchen. Your grandpa might have taken you behind the barn, but maybe you deserve that whipping. You ever think of that? Do you ever think about the people who had homes? Kind people as friends and family. You were included in the family, and all of a sudden, they were required by law to kick your ass out and make you homeless. All those farmers in the South were not all bad rich guys, you know? I see everyone guilty of the very thing they point the finger at. Show me one that who is innocent of this. Show me one. Dearest Saint Germain, but Lord of all lords and by all names, just take a lozenger for the germ warfare that's starting down here, which is totally biologically incorrect. And they're laughing like we're a chess game. We're just another chess game of another history lesson. But shall you give away and start over? For whatever righteous reason? Now, Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injustice, pardon. Where there is doubt, courage. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Be it. Emanate it. Be that one example that child somewhere on the earth, whatever child, whatever wild animal, little honeybee that needed a flower in you and me. So we didn't throw away the very thing that people gave their lives to flee. Some were sold off. Some were indentured servants. Some got sold by their own people and they want to blame us. Now, I didn't do any of that. So let's get back to this. And where there is sadness, joy. Don't let them mask your smile. You can hear it in your words. You emanate the example of hope and joy, which allows people to live and survive. But those that don't want any responsibility just want to throw it away because, I'd rather the government have to take care of my ass because it has my whole life. And, what do we do? No matter where we come from, what do we do with our lives that is an example that you would want a tribe or clan to follow? I come from good stock. I can show you bloodlines back to the desert in Arabia, as well as all over. And it's not because I'm all that smart. No, I honor those who came before me. I was raised to honor the respect of having a hand to hold for compassion at that last moment where maybe you weren't sure for most of your life. Maybe you didn't go to the same church. But I know that if you've been talking like this and sassing to people, and I don't care what south, north, east, west piece of the freaking earth you stood on, because otherwise you didn't get here. If it wasn't for a man and a woman being a man, which takes balls. So women quit castrating men and putting too much soy and making boys girls and girls boys and all this confusion. Hello, whatever you are, be it, but respectful is respectful. And the ones that are being hurt in Sweden and the elephants killed from our toxins, we spread our filth. Doesn't matter if we're poor or rich, we are richer than anyone in the world because we have polluted their worlds and their minds. For what? Profit. And you and I would be tempted by that same fate if we were there. So I hope to have like the John Travolta. I think they took Robin Williams out. There's no freaking way. It's called robbing a soul, and that's what the atomic bomb did. But it stopped a war. But a very mighty people. And if I could give people money, if I was a millionaire right now, I would house and pay for the education of a few Japanese families that choose to stay pure. Like a lot of the native Indians, they have a right to be righteous, but their diabetes is what's killing them, and our white man gave it to them. Just like our white man killed off how many matriarchal tribes, and now it's a time to become matriarchal. It's a time to recognize that our bodies need to give back the earth the fertilizer it deserves and needs. Our bodies are sacred temples. And how we choose to live is not necessarily one medicine is another's greed. And having a button, but having the thread. In order to have this thing called water and air, we kind of need things called trees. And right now, California's governor has everybody, the one before, there'd been dingbats since 2006. That's when I started going, what? Because it affected me. No one seems to offer compassion or decide to grow up, and I'm just as bad as anyone else. I've been a hypocrite to everything that I had judged. And thank goodness I haven't had to pay for it all this lifetime. But regardless, do I want to have faith over fear? Of course. And if you don't, then get out of the way and get off the mic. I don't care how much money you have. You democratize. You have demonstrated such hypocrisy for the lives that have been before you. This world is at a choice, and yes, history repeats itself. Plato was made to commit suicide, made by the patriarchal society, and it's time the matriarchal come back, but not angry. Come on. Black and white has all the colors of the spectrum in it if you have any education in you to find out the true roots of where you come from. Inside, and then choosing to be someone that if in this day was your only last day and you didn't know it, that a child or a wild animal, the instincts of the juiciness of pure, not to be righteous, not to throw your righteousness over. I mean, you look like a 2-year-old on a steroid. Get off my face with your freedom is not meant to be so castrized, as well as, don't insult a good dog. Figure it out. And obviously the ones making a lot of noise and getting into the mics because that's their 2 seconds of fame. But instead of dying with a bullet like a real warrior does, they get to go on living and be fed by our system. They can go to jail and they come out and have more rights than a civilian who stayed out of the work since 16 and stayed out of trouble. So what has the system really been creating but the socialism, the matriarchism, the communism, the pinky? They hurt good people in the 60s with that pinky thing, and they killed Kennedy. Inside jobs are always the hardest because we had never been attacked by foreign soil. They now knew, long ago. These whoever the they is that takes over, and it's this time around, we get to set the hope stories and the magic into the next future generations of have hope. Hope over hate, love over fear, and juiciness of real. It's a matrix. It's a matrix of an old way. It's a matrix of an old way. It's the flash mob. It's the nanosecond. It's the penicillin of the east, north, south, west, of wherever you are on this planet, breathing oxygen, which needs trees. This governor is having them chopped down like 40-something, Miss Birdie, she planted all the pretty flowers. That was what she did with her Miss President versus go shopping. Being Mrs. President is an honor, And they used to, some of them did forests. Roosevelt's wife, oh gosh, what a beautiful soul. So these things that kill carbon monoxide, the bad stuff that you're breathing, that's giving them jobs. And they go home and they talk like this because they can hide their guilt. Doesn't matter what color it is, they can just talk to you like this. And they think that's okay because you can just talk like this. No? Well, guess what? Look at your eyes can still talk. How dare you? No wonder our pioneers had, because you're going to pay if you hurt my loved one. Well, my freedom is just as much that love. Semper Fi. And it's time God give me the equality to all you that are whining. Do you see these other races that have been walked on just as much as you whining? I mean, the government, the others only knew they could take America down from within. So they've been henpecking at us and we'd get stronger. And I like Mr. Clinton, but the bitch, she was les. I don't care. But I feel for the daughters and sons of all these presidents except for Carter and some of the good people. Lincoln had a very ambitious wife, but it was a political move. There was only a few bad guys. They could have taken a few states out, but they didn't. And now we putrefy the word journalism. Ha! Because they spit out their garbage, thinking they have a right to, just because it says free. And the guilty, when they get out of jail, are given 2 years to 3 housing, re-education, so they can be in that system. So they took us out from within. And we are all guilty, as well as innocent. Keep a lozenge with you. Always have people and friends that you can trade. The trades, but the goodness of knowing that the earth is our big apple. The earth. It's not about me and you, but what hue and color are we offering? Bless you. Oh, Mane Padme Hum. Father, Mother God, thank you for all the good in my life. Jesus, thank you. I need you as my brother right now. They're getting real crazy out there. They're getting nutso. I prefer, united we stand. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. Keep on keeping on. Dag nabbit, doggone it. Don't let them have gadgets. But let them have a lesson in how it hurt us. AI is not the answer. Don't make a sci-fi come true. We are living it in 2020. We knew it was coming, but everyone's generation of history, we keep thinking it won't happen to us. And the next generations, whether we bear the child ourselves or not, whoever uses that oxygen pays and owes through debt, through their whole tribes to this earth. For the oxygen, those plants that transmute it, those bushes that kill horses if they eat them. And I love horses. If you know anything about a horsey girl, they love their friends. They're friends. And the Arabians were our heroes, the nomads. But the ones that sold out with oil, the reality is deforestation and overpopulation. They figured out how to kill us legally and get away with it. Some martial lawed, and some called it for your health. But regardless, it's a lie of this decade. So don't make it red. Don't take the red and blue and tear our flag apart. Shame on you. Shame on me. And unless I lift up my core goddess, I am that I am. It's about you and your integrity of recognizing how are you going to pass the ball? How are you going to pass the buck? Because the reality is it does matter. And I call it upon you and yours, as well as those that are mine that are ignorant and innocent and they do not know. I have forgiven you again and again, and I ask that the good be greater than all of us. Greater than all of us. This or better, so mote it be. Amen. Father, thank you. For I know that the Om, the I am, is not withheld within a box of one color. Because we that are black and white have all the spectrums of color in us. The 5 elements of sacred east, south, north, as above, so below and within. We are more scared of the dark than we are. Actually, no, we're less afraid. We learn to face the dark and become evil. We became the very thing we fed on for years. That ghoulie with flesh. Only we go home righteous and pay our bills and don't think of the people we just spit on and think it's our fault. We don't care. We live our life, right? There is a payment, and the oxygens require trees. Trees reinforce the ecosystem of animals, the ones that eat things and the ones that eat weeds. And we eat them and we say thank you. That's called grace. So have your grace and say thank you for whatever placed itself on your table and whoever got it there, for all those that they love and their family, for protection and good thinking. This or better, because I don't want to limit God. Who dare I think that I am by whatever church box I go to and say Jesus? So Jesus makes it all okay. All right. Then Ganesh, if you don't know, is the Jesus guy. Just like this dude. These 2 dudes represent unconditional love. Now this dude, he's a little more mischievous about it. But this one was a red, white, and blue, pure love, the crazy love that saved me and you. So today, Mother Earth is still providing us oxygen. And those plants that kill the carbon monoxide, the more fresh air and lifting of our diaphragm, but rolling the hips and shoulders and getting cement out from underneath it ever since they made for cement. You don't think that these legs don't know what they've been walking on? I mean, cement jabs it all up inside your bones. And when it jars it up, what do you think's going to fall apart? We are not machines, but you also don't want them taking your jobs. You want to bite the apple. And Semper Fi, the lucky horseshoe of the good in all of us. And this or better, amen, so mote it be, oh. Keep on keeping on, one foot in front of the other, one day at a time. Forgive and let go. Letting go is hard, so forgive yourself again. I have to. So bless you. And know that unconditional love is not some dream. It's real. It's so real that when you dance, whether this be, from your country, when you dance, and it shows you, where did we come from? Silent movie days. I met a woman that her parents and grandparents were in the movie black and white to silent movie days. That's my history. It's not just a story. But quit bitching. God bless. By all their names.